Hey guys, Double Wide 6 here, and I just picked up this Rockwell drill press, and I just figured I'd make a little video. I'm gonna end up cleaning this thing up and getting it all refurbished and looking good. So anyhow, it's Delta Rockwell, and it's from '86. Has a half-horse motor. I believe it's Emerson. And has 6 inches of travel on the quill here. It needs some work, and I'll explain some of those things. But as you can see, the guy that had this thing, wherever he had it, it either got wet or there was moisture in his air. I was looking at his garage. He had one of those like steel buildings, but he didn't have it insulated, and I think that could cause problems like this. The bottom stand is cast iron, and there's no cracks in that. That's in good shape. The table is cast iron as well. It's going to need some work. There's a fair buildup of rust or some paint on here. The table does not tilt. It does not have a crank lever to move the table up and down, but the table actually moves quite easily. And where I work, I have a very similar drill press. This one, I think, is a 15-inch drill press, and up underneath there's a belt, and it has several gears so that you can change the speed on there. So there's 4 pulleys in the front, 4 in the back. I don't know why this pole is sticking through the top, other than when you put it together, probably it wasn't put together up high enough. So I'll straighten that out. You can see the main spindle going through this thing is kind of damaged up here, and that's actually my fault. I was trying to fix the thing. What happened was, when I got over to the guy's house to take a look at it, he told me it was a real good working drill press, and he used it, several times, just doesn't use it enough, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to sell it. So I went over there, and I was looking at the chuck on the thing, and the chuck that was on it, I couldn't turn because it was all rusted up, completely rusted. And I asked him, do you have a chuck key? And of course, that was like the one thing he was missing. So I listened to the motor, I smelled the motor, it smelled good, like it wasn't burned out or anything. And I couldn't move the chuck. He assured me it all worked. It just needed, to be de-rusted a little bit. Well, when I got home, I couldn't get the chuck off the thing, okay? And I didn't have a manual for it, and for whatever reason, on Rockwell's site, they charge you like 10 or 12 bucks to buy a manual. So I was just reading on some forums, and I wasn't sure if the chuck that I had was like a Morse taper fit, or if it was actually threaded on. It turned out it's a Jacob's taper on there. It's a I think it's like a JT33. This is the original chuck, or what's left of it. You can see there's a couple pieces here. I was doing everything in my power to possibly budge this thing and get it loose. As you can see, I ended up basically beating the thing apart to get it off, because it needed a new chuck. And actually, now that the cover fell off this thing, you can see very clearly that this jaw in the Jacobs chuck is a little higher than the other two. So this thing is like, the gears in it aren't aligned, so it doesn't turn, it binds. I was trying to turn it with a pipe wrench to move it, and it was just locked up. And this taper on here was on there so tight, it was just unbelievable. So it took a lot of pounding and beating to try and get the thing off. And basically the way I did it was, I'll just put this chuck on here temporarily. I took a brass rod and I put it on the top of the chuck and I hit down on it, turn it half a turn, hit down, keep doing that. And I continued to do that, and I couldn't loosen the thing up at all. So then I tried to see if I could turn it, you know. And when you turn the chuck, this shaft up top here spins. So I wound up having to lock on here with my locking vice grips. Tell you what, this is another time. I don't know if you've ever seen a tool like this thing, but I guess it's a pipe vice grip. It was my grandfather's, and his father was a plumber, so he had all these like plumbing tools when he had passed away. This thing has gotten me out of several jams, and this was one of them. The only thing that I did that was kind of stupid is I should have put some leather up here, but I guess in the heat of the moment there, I just wanted to get that chuck off, and finally, with this clamped up top, I could hold it still, and I had a pipe wrench down at the bottom. I was able to finally crank the thing loose, and it came right off. And if you look at this taper in here, it's not like it's rusted in there or anything, you know. It doesn't look like it's in that bad a shape, so I'm not sure why that was stuck so bad. I also tried some wedges too to get in there, and I just did not have much success. So anyhow, this is the drill press. I'm probably going to make some videos of going through and just cleaning it up a little bit, maybe repainting. I'm debating what I want to do, but it looks to be in decent shape. And one of the biggest things that you want to look for with one of these is that when the chuck's on there, that it actually spins true. So my dial indicator I don't even have here, it's actually at work. I'm building Matthias Wandel's wooden bandsaw, and I'm using that thing there to get things aligned right. That guy's a very precise woodworker. So anyhow, we'll show you this thing running a little bit. At the top here. There we go. Tighten that down. I noticed like some of these, they have switches that are push button, and other ones have just switches like this. But as you can see there, that thing turns like really true. So it looks like it's going to be a good drill press for me. It's making a little bit of a vibrating sound, and most of that is up here. So we'll fix that stuff when we go through it. So anyhow, I'm double wide 6, and I will most likely be making some videos to follow up this thing, going through and getting it all set. Before I leave today, I will make a link in the bottom of the video to the chained vice grip. Fantastic tool. If you don't have one, you can check that out in the description. Thanks for watching.